Is an agent for everyone? Hi, I'm Renee Nolte, and today, in this interview, I'll be asking literary agent Heather Cashman to find the answer. I'm an indie author, and I wanted to know if going the trade market route is the best for me. Subscribe to this channel for more stories like this, read-alongs, kids' martial arts, and more. Heather Cashman works for Storm Literary Agency. At the start of 2024, I interviewed her to understand better how representation in the book publishing world works from an agent's perspective. In just a few short months, she got promoted to senior literary agent, which isn't surprising to me because as I got to know her even more from this interview and listening to her new podcast, Wayward Writers, she seems to go the extra mile beyond the standard representation. She is undoubtedly engaged in helping create her client success as she desires to foster longevity and sustainability in a long-term career. Before now, when I thought about agents, I was drawn to the movie Jerry Maguire. In the film, the superstar athlete Rod Tidwell, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., calls Jerry, played by Tom Cruise, and yells, "Show me the money!" Now, you may know the rest of this back and forth exchange of enthusiasm, desire, and passion for the best representation. Naturally, Rod and Jerry develop a great bond and a friendship with support and trust. At first, it was a struggle, then heartfelt pain, a little chaos, a blitz of turmoil mixed with tremendous sweat equity, and finally, that silver lining. They develop a great relationship and grow together into an authentic, synergistic, win-win relationship. The entertainment industry paints a simple but dramatic picture here. It's not all on Jerry. Rod has a huge role in the game. We saw much of what Jerry did, but Rod had to bring it, and he had to bring it big. So let's say he was an author, not a football player. What are the key identifying factors for him to land an agent? There has got to be more to it, such as the advantages and disadvantages of having an agent. We cannot expect Hollywood to tell that story, and I needed to learn more. Last year, I began contemplating having an agent represent me. I asked best-selling YA author Tamara Hanks Grantham for her take on it. She told me she writes books so quickly that she prefers to be indie. Now, I've been indie since 2015, but I keep thinking there is a better way. I'm not great at marketing and I could spend more time producing, but when you have all the jobs when you're an indie, it's exhausting. Even though Tamara seems super happy and successful, I wanted to ask some questions that would align my decision hearing from all sides. I was introduced to Heather through one of the author organizations I associate with, SCBWI. I was asked to write an article to help promote a Zoom meeting where she would host and offer suggestions and tips to other authors. That newsletter came out in January. I also attended that Zoom meeting where she provided nuggets of gold to people like me. I hope to heed her counsel and grow from it all. I was thinking about Tamara, people like her, people like me, and well, any aspiring author. Is an agent for everyone? No, an agent is only for some if one writes things that are not commercial enough for the trade market, says Heather Cashman. She shared an example of an indie author who wrote something niche for a small audience. Quote, "After encouraging her to put it out there, now the writer is a hybrid author. I think creativity like this could be project-based," unquote. From Heather Cashman, she added that some people only write one book or write one book every 5 years. These people do not need an agent. She has no place to put that book, nowhere to place it. Some people enjoy the freedom of self-publishing and need that control for themselves, as they do not want to relinquish editorial control or any writing. They want the title to remain the same and to put out what they have produced 100%. These people are also not fit for a trade market, but that is their artistic choice. She continues that an agent is a good idea if one desires traditionally published in trade publishing. Also, she says, when your book can sell widely, trade publishing is your best route. There are exceptions. Here's the catch. I knew it. She relayed that some people have gone viral by connecting with influencers who have sold widely across countries. I am sure they are probably well schooled in marketing to accomplish such a feat. But an agent is still a good idea when a desire for foreign rights, films, and merchandising are wanted. because you retain your rights to sell those things globally. An agent will help you do those things. So I asked Heather to name 3 big rocks a writer must do to create significance. As a writer and having accomplished so much in this industry, she's also the perfect person to ask this question. Number 1, she adds, write. It's unnecessary to write every day to be a writer, but the more words you write, the better quantity versus quality. You will get quality when you do quantity. It's a craft, so practice to master it. You'll write 10 picture books and one will be amazing, but you will only get to 10 if you have written the other 9, so write consistently. Number 2, she adds, editing other people's work. She says you need to start looking at things from an editorial standpoint to understand how to edit your work or why others want you to change things. So make this part of your craft work. Heather learned this because she started reading other people's books, went to classes on editing, joined writing groups, and got involved in editing at Pitch Wars and more. She's like the song that never ends. She's arrived at a point of effortless effort, which is a good thing because her talents get shared. Thank you, ma'am. She began honing her writing and editing skills and growing her craft. Now, as for myself, a master martial artist, having practiced discipline and kicks, stances, punches, and blocks all my life, it pays off when you successfully have the muscle memory to put yourself in the best position. Being anxiously engaged no matter what topic gets you better, as Bruce Lee says, quote, "The less effort, the faster and more powerful you will be," close quote. Things you must do without being reminded, like blocking a punch to the body, result in not getting hit. Therefore, practice your writing craft and be disciplined. It will come with rewards beyond measure. Number 3, reading. She summarized it like Forrest Gump. And that's all I have to say about that. I dove into the nitty-gritty, wanting to know what was in her head about potential prospects. What conversation she has with potential clients before considering representing them. She asked them about their expectations and goals in a writing career and if they are both reasonable. She continues with what other projects do you have, what age groups and genres. Then she asked herself if she could build a potential career for this person. She says that one of her most significant things is communication. When we spoke, I kept seeing a pattern of a door hinge as she desired the door to swing both ways. What communication do you expect from me, she says, and from you, she adds as part of her questions. For me, this is huge, I said. I certainly appreciate the organization and feedback here. This is teamwork where everyone achieves more. It's synergistic and wildly important. Communication is the key to success, and I can go on about this topic, but I shall press on. But way to go, Heather. Moving forward, Heather, let's say we've come to terms. What are the top 3 things you want to achieve with a client? Number 1, she says, I want to build them a career. That is the most important thing to me. I ensure editors and publishers take care of them and negotiate the best deal possible. The second one is I want to sell their books. And number 3, if I can help get them to get awards in there, please, let's do that. Teamwork makes the dream work, Heather, right? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And readers are leaders, and leaders are readers, and listeners are winners, and winners never quit listening. Okay, I can get carried away here, but I mean every word, and words are tools that shape your life. All right, I think you get the theme here. Show me the money, says Rod from Jerry Maguire. Famous line as previously mentioned. Heather, how are funds agreed upon when negotiating a book deal? It's not the same in all agencies, she says, but at Storm, the publishers will send me an initial offer and I will counter it. I will propose a different offer that is better in every way. I'll push back on everything I can. For example, a higher advance, better royalty rates, retaining rights, and more. I also ensure that my client is on board and has approved my proposals. I think this kind of effort from Heather is golden. Now, I love baseball. I love baseball slang. And as a baseball author, I enjoy announcing. Here's the windup and the pitch. So Heather, inquiring minds want to know what pitch has stood out to you the most so far in your career. She added the pitch that stood out the most to her in her career is for this book that was released this year, early in February. It's called Son of Blood and Ruin by Marilee Lars, and she loved the layers of complexity and the marketing hooks, which she loved personally. She fell in love with this book. It's mystical, mythological, historical fantasy. It was just fascinating to her. And if you read the Amazon blurb on the book, that was basically her pitch. Then she shares the book's different nuances and why she was engaged. Heather's story and work ethic fascinated me. I hope it fascinated you too. And I learned a lot from her answers. I hope to be a brighter creative and put my shoulder to the wheel and push along and gain the rewards from helpful tips with discipline and enthusiasm. So I may, and you, if you are so inclined, to reach new levels of learning and with much success. Besides the money line in that movie, if I ever get a call from Heather asking me to take her on, the one that tops it for me is I'll tell her, "You had me at hello." Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Heather Cashman, a literary agent. Please subscribe to my channel for more stories like this, storytime reading along, and martial arts for kids. Have a great day.